What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. DMZ missions are what we do over here, and today we're looking at a mission called Humanitarian Relief, which is for the White Lotus faction in DMZ. Now this mission essentially has three different parts to it, making you go around the map looking for bandages, self-revives and aspirin to extract out of the map or either drop off at dead drops. I'll share some general tips and tricks as to which areas you should approach to find these resources, as well as give you some hints on which other missions you could potentially combine this with to make the overall effort that you have to spend gathering this huge amount of swag much easier. First things first, this mission pairs extremely well with a mission from the Legion faction called Good Prep. I just recently released a video on that as well, so go ahead and check out the channel if you're looking for that. That is because the areas that I'm going to be sending you to collect all of these items are exactly the same in these two missions. So in certain cases, maybe for example, you won't be finding that much aspirin, but you will be finding a lot of gas mask or a lot of radiation blockers, which happens to be the thing that you should be gathering for Good Prep. So absolutely having both of these in your inventory, in your mission inventory as you are progressing through a deployment, will help you tackle at least one of the two, possibly even both. But for now, looking back at Humanitarian Relief and the mission we're trying to target today, the three items which you are going to be looking for are bandages, self-revives and bottles of aspirin. Now all three of these can be found in medical cabinets all around the map, and you should find them in good supply in areas where you have a large saturation of medical cabinets. Hence why we should absolutely work on a route that hits as many areas as possible that have a high amount of these cabinets for us to search. Now in the case of the bandages, what you have to remember is these need to be dropped off at a dead drop, more specifically the Saeed Mall dead drop, which is of course this one over here. So as you start gathering the bandages, make sure that you work this dead drop into your rotation as you move around the map, and you'll probably end up knocking this step out of the three off first off your list. Then when it comes to self-revives and bottles of aspirin, as mentioned, they often spawn in medical cabinets, and the best place for medical cabinets on the map are the hospitals. Now I've worked out a route, and the footage that you're seeing in the background right now shows you all of the 5 hospitals that I usually hit. Of course, you have the dead drop right below Al Mazrah City. Then of course you have a dead drop slightly to the right of the map just past the police station. Then you also have one of course just above the airport. Then your 4th hospital you will find near Saeed Mall in Saeed City. And last but not least, we have the 5th one, which sits to the left of Rowan Oil. Now most of the times you will have enemy players that spawn near these hospitals, and they will oftentimes hit them for especially self-revives. Bottles of aspirin you tend to find in huge amounts because players aren't necessarily on the same mission that you are, and bandages as well. In the case of aspirin and bandages, you can stack these up in your inventory, which is a really good thing because you are going to have to drag a shitload of bottles of aspirin off the map at 40 of them. And that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Diligently working these hospitals into your rotation whenever you deploy into DMZ is going to help you make really fast progress on this mission, as well as Good Prep that I mentioned before. And as always, while I make these guides for solo deployment, they obviously go a lot faster if you bring in more people, because you'll have a bigger inventory, which means you can extract with more of these items at a time. Plus you also don't run the risk of spending the entire deployment going around the map and gathering up everything and then potentially dying at the end when you try to extract. As always, my advice with these kind of like gather up and extract missions is don't get greedy. If you have a few of these items, 3, 4, 5 of these items, it's best to extract with that than try to overextend yourself and get 1 or 2 more and then accidentally die. Either which way, I hope you get this done soon, and it's just super important to me that you have a fantastic morning, afternoon and evening wherever you are in the world. And until next video, fucking cheers.
They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me.